other ways where we could have won this game. So many plays that was out there that could have been made. Dropped interception by Jalen Hawkins. Like I said, it was just so many plays in this game that we left on the table, and that's where the game was lost.
And,
And,
and give Mariota more snaps in practice under center. Give him
Exactly.
more snaps under center in practice, please.
I'm gonna agree with you as well, Juju, because let me tell you, man, like the terminology, like you said, that 4th and 1. You don't have Matt Ryan no more. You have a dual threat quarterback. So if you ran a read option or whatever, make that end choose. Make him choose. Now, if that's the one time I need Mariota to be physical and go get that yard, that's it. Not any other time of the game. That play is when I want you to lower your shoulder to go get a yard. But the rest of the game, protect yourself. But you are absolutely right. On a 4th and 1, you could easily get that first. And like you said, it's not like the Saints been stopping it. I don't even think they might have had maybe one tackle for loss the whole game. And that mainly because I think on that play when they did get it, Cordero was trying to find a hole and he slipped.
Yeah, he hurt his ankle, I think, on that play because he ran off after that play. He tried to, he slipped. And then the other play is when Mariota fumbled under center and they got
right.
he was like no game.
Parker Hesse in the end zone, in the red zone. He got the false start in the red zone. And Falcons were, I think they was like a yard or two away from on the goal line, and then he ended up getting the false start, and they ended up again. Those are that's why I say I'm not disappointed in Arthur Smith at all because he did enough to win the game. But when you got players that are making individual errors, you can call it. There's no such thing as a perfect call. But as an offense and the defense, you can play a perfect game. And we just didn't play a perfect game at the end of the day. You got to be able to call. When your number is called, you got to make more positive plays than negatives, especially in the crucial moments. And like I said, we just didn't do that. And like I said, we allowed Jameis Winston to get in a rhythm. And like I said, we can say you can say whatever we want to say about him. But we know he can make them NFL throws. Those throws against AJ Terrell, like I said, that's great coverage, great hands by Michael Thomas, and he is a legit receiver. I still think, he's going to have some trouble this year because he looked mighty slow. And that's going to be a problem. I don't think they're going to be able to count on him the way that they think. They're going to have to design a lot of stuff to get him on because he did not look healthy again this game. But when you get that ball in his vicinity, that dude, he gonna bring that thing in. He gonna bring that thing in. And like I said, the dude he was unbelievable in that 4th quarter. Him and Jameson, those guys were unbelievable in that 4th quarter. They got in the rhythm, and the Falcons just couldn't do anything to get them out of that rhythm. I think Jude was absolutely right when he said, all right, we got to rip their heart out. I think in that 4th-and-1, that was the perfect time to kill that momentum. If you go for it, even if you don't get it, you cannot allow that ball to get back in Jameis and Mike Thomas' hand right there. Those are the situations. Like I said, it's his 2nd year as a coach. This is his 1st year still with a lot of these weapons on it. And like looking at his play calling now, that's why I said about having CP running the ball. I didn't like that because he went back to what he knows. And that's something when you got young players, you can't go back to what you do. You got to at least show something. Show those guys that, hey, I'm going to dial your number. And I like Avery, but he shouldn't be our star. He shouldn't be a running back. He should not be a running back for the Falcons. There was a couple of holes that I thought he ended up, he showcased that he was a 3rd, 4th string running back, and he had no business doing that in certain situations. Like I said, a great game plan by Arthur. He put together a great game plan that absolutely worked. But when you make mistakes at the quarterback position, I tell people this all the time. Matt Ryan did not make mistakes in the 4th in that second half of the game, he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't make mental mistakes. Those are the things that send you to the Super Bowl. That right there is what gets you into the Super Bowl and consistently in playoffs and 60,000 yards. Not making those subtle. We always say this: the small, intricate details of football. That's what lost us the game this time. The small, intricate details of football. So,
I'm gonna add to that too. What I'm gonna say, all I'm gonna say is we've been preaching literally for like the last few years since we all really just started really doing shows together. We've been preaching for the last few years situational football, and we failed in that department today. So that has to get that. We have to go to the drawing board, and we have to figure out how can we be successful in situational football. That way, when this type of stuff comes up again, we ain't gonna we ain't clutching our assholes. We relax, we ready to go, like we know what to do. Instead of looking like, oh God, what we gonna do here? How can I figure out to pull out a win? And be doing that.
Learn from your mistakes.
Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, learn from your mistakes. It's all that. You know you had missed opportunities out there today. As a coaching staff, you know you had missed opportunities. Learn from those mistakes so that the next time around you make a better choice, you make a better decision. Hopefully they'll do that. Hopefully from this point on with that situational football, when you're in situations where you need to close out the game, when you're in situations where you need to rip the heart out of the opponent, don't be afraid to be aggressive. Trust your running backs when the running game is working. Trust that they can get you a yard. Trust that they can get you 2 yards. Don't be afraid to be aggressive. Don't get conservative too early. And I hope that they learn from those mistakes today.
Yeah, let me clear one up because everybody else like Matt Ryan make mistakes. Matt Ryan doesn't make mental mistakes. There's a difference between making mistakes and mental mistakes. Matt Ryan does not make mental mistakes. We saw, even to be honest, I saw an opportunity for him to throw the ball more. I thought he was a little bit too hesitant to throw the ball. If he wasn't comfortable, he would hold the ball a little bit too long, and the receivers kind of got. I thought they were I thought, especially Cordero Hodge. I'm starting to really like him in this offense. I think he's a guy. He's one of those unsung guys that I think he's going to see a little bit more playing time. He got the ball and he had a few passes, but we're talking about as a quarterback, what you cannot do, especially when you're a receiver. This is one of the reasons why Malik Willis was benched. It wasn't because he did great when he had his opportunity to run. He made some good throws, but he left a lot of wide open receivers. I thought there was a few receivers in this game that, they were, especially Drake London. I thought Drake London, he had a great chemistry with him, but I didn't see as many passes that I needed to see out of Kyle Pitts. And I think that mostly that's largely due to the fact that they were doubling and tripling on Kyle Pitts. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think he has to focus more on being a quarterback versus being an athlete. And this is what we talk about when you bring these mobile quarterbacks in. They're not thinking being quarterback. They're not thinking I need to get this ball to Kyle Pitts. I need to pass this ball to Drake London. They're thinking athlete first. And I think that's what the great quarterbacks in the NFL do. They think quarterback first, use your legs to buy time and get those guys on the ball. Because you look at Russell Wilson, he's one of those guys. Yeah, he's an athlete, but he uses legs to buy him time so he can get the ball to his receivers. None of his receivers you never see Seattle receivers complaining about Russ not throwing them the ball because he's going to do that. So I need to see more from Mariota as a passer. I wasn't happy how he, kind of facilitated the offense as far as the wide receivers getting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mariota played pretty well in the game. I just think, like you said, he just has to be better about letting the ball go, trusting himself. I think he did a good job. He was pretty pinpoint accurate on most of his passes today. The main thing with today's game, my biggest gripe is what you guys have already said, is just he got to learn how to get down and protect himself, or he's not going to make it through the 17-game schedule. I feel like he got to slide. It was only one play that I seen him actually slide, and that was later on in the game after Dave was going to fuss them out. It's like, yeah, dude, just get down. Like, you taking all this unnecessary punishment. Like, just slide. Get outside the pocket, run out of bounds, slide. There's no reason for you to be trying to truck guys. You're not a running back. Just get down. Like they said, they protect the quarterbacks. But once you become a runner, it was too many times to me where he was just running downfield, taking too much unnecessary punishment. Just slide, get down, protect yourself. But other than that, I think he did well. When he passed the ball, Drake London showed why he's going to be special. Even Zacchaeus was pretty sharp on all his routes. I think we did a good job of mixing up that running pass. Like, we had them in our back pocket. Like, we talked about it. Once Cordell Patterson got going on that drive when we went down, Taysom Hill scored, and then that next drive, CP pretty much ran it down their throat. We had that run pass option was destroying them because they had to bring that extra man down in the box because they couldn't stop Cordell Patterson. I mean, he was out there just bullying people. I'm like, man, that dude is a straight man. Like, the way he did Honey Badger, he was like, them guys didn't want to tackle that man. He was out there. Yeah, he would run like a bat. Like, man, that dude was looking like a bat out of hell. The way that he was hitting him, like we talk about Mike Davis not knowing how to hit the hole, he was hitting that hole coming 100 miles an hour. Like, I was like, this man is a freight train, man. Like, that dude was coming down. I wouldn't want to tackle that man coming downhill. How he was hitting them holes, he was coming downhill. So I'm like, we're gonna be fine. Like I said, we dominated them. Let's be real. We dominated them. The Saints, when they're in that locker room, they like, man, we really dodged the bullet. They know that we had. And trust me, they going back to the drawing board. Like, this Falcons team gonna be a problem for us because they didn't figure us out. The only thing I can say they figured out is, okay, we got to go up tempo. But that doesn't necessarily work if you stay consistent with your blitzing, bringing that pressure. That only worked because we stopped bringing pressure. So they really going to have to go back to the drawing board because they had no answer for Mariota running. They had no answer for CP. I mean, he did whatever he wanted. I think he rushed for like 120-something yards, 130 yards. And we know when we had TJ Jones for the State of the Saints on, I seen when y'all had him on, he was talking about how they hadn't given up 100 yards rushing. Or they only gave up like 100 yards twice last year. I mean, Cordell made it look easy. He almost had 100 yards rushing in the first half. So this team is going to be fine. And that's one thing that I think you can we can help hang our hat on is that running game.
200 yards rushing. They had 200, like I said, they had 400 yards total, 416 yards total, and 200 yards rushing. So, like I said, I'm not worried about Arthur Smith and his ability to call plays. At the end of the day, you got to execute, man. And I think we had way too many mistakes. You cannot have mistakes.
And be aggressive. Like, we blaming Dean Pease. That's also goes on Arthur Smith as well. As I said, at the end of the game, 4th and 1, be aggressive. You're an offensive-minded coach. Most offensive-minded coaches, Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, they going for it right there. 4th and 1, we running the ball for over 200 yards. We going for it. If you stop us, you stop us. But 9 times out of 10, as I always say, when the game come down, it's a 4th and 1, 4th and inches. That's when palms get sweaty. That's when backsides get tight. We seen late in the game where they had that holding penalty on Lattimore. Like, everybody get nervous. When it's 4th and 1, everybody gets nervous. So you got to go for it right there. I mean, the game is on the line. You make the first down, you win the game. You don't, rely on your defense. You know, we still had that opportunity. So I feel like those are the situational football situations where you got to know, okay, they got the momentum. We got to take the momentum back. And I think that was the time in the game where we should have went for it. We shouldn't have put the defense back on the field because really we didn't possess the ball for that long, and the defense at that point was gassed. And to me, the offense had the advantage the whole game. Like they weren't stopping us. We were winning the trenches. We were controlling the trenches. You can run a quarterback sneak right there. We seen Mariota scoring that quarterback sneak. A 4th and 1, you get under center. You tell everybody push. You tell the running back or the fullback, push me. We're going to get this 1 yard. Like the way we're controlling the line of scrimmage, we're going to get that 1 yard. We'll go back to what Blackberry was saying. You got to trust your offense. You got to trust your guys. In that situation, I'm putting that ball in Mariota's hands. I'm either running an option or I'm just saying we're going to run a quarterback sneak. That's probably what I would have did. Went heavy and just say, everybody push up front. Mariota going to sneak behind me. And that's when you put your head down. You want to put your head down all game. This is where we need you to stretch that ball out, get this yard, and let's get out of here with a win. But after that, you want a victory formation. They had no time.
Let me read some numbers. Let me read some numbers for you. And this is what come down to it. All right. So we're going to read a few numbers, and I think this is, the true essence of football. The Saints were 3 for 3 in the red zone. Falcons were 2 for 4. Penalties, 8. Both teams had 8 penalties. One team had 1 turnover, Saints, and the Falcons had 2. The time possession for the Atlanta Falcons, 33 minutes to their 29. So it all come down to it. This is what Drew always says. Always come down to those 2 to 3 plays during the game that loses or wins you the game. That's what it comes down. If Mariota does not fumble, this game is done.
It's over.
You can continue to run the clock. It's over. So, like I said, Arthur, we can say what we can say about Dean Pease and Arthur, but those players still gotta make plays. They gotta make plays. They didn't make plays. They made crucial mistakes at the wrong time. Like I said, but man, they had so much pressure. Like I said, we talk about changing the culture, man. I've seen that. I am impressed with what I've seen from this team. We still got a long way to go. I think there's going to be problems. We got to make sure that we really clean up a lot of things, as K Styles joined us. But I think we need to clean a lot of things with our passing game and the quarterback. We got to make sure, like Blackberry said, we got to make sure that he gets on the center because he looked like absolute ass. he looked bad on the center. He looked like he hadn't been on the center in a long time.
That's what happened when you stand in the pistol all game, Mike.
He was in the pistol all game.
That is Coach Smith's fault. He calling the plays, get out of pistol and get in the I formation. Because now when the game on the line, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? The dude snapped it right into his stomach. Like this dude ain't been under center all game. He been so used to being in the pistol in the shotgun formation. Now I come down to a crucial moment. You ain't did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's repetition. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like you said, players make plays, coaches coach. So I ain't giving Mariota no excuses. At the end of the day, he gotta be better. That was winning time.
One more stat. This right here, like I said, I'm not worried about the Atlanta Falcons, but this is one more stat. Guess how many sacks the Falcons gave up?
0.
So I'm not worried about the offense. We're good, but we gotta clean up the mistakes. And this is a young team. I know it hurts, Falcons fans. All right, trust me, we all hurt, but it's a lot to look forward to. This is a young team. Like if anybody knows us, the Saints know their team, and it always comes. It was the same thing last year. First game of the season against the Saints, we end up, with the beneficiary of that win, kicking the field goal. So, like I said, this happens. This happens. So, like I said, I'm proud of it. I love the pressure up front. I think AK-47, that dude is gonna be a superstar. Let me just say that. That dude gonna be a superstar, man. That dude is special. He was in the backfield all night, and not just one side. He wasn't just playing the right side. He was playing the left side. He was all over the field. He just continued to get pressure right along with Lorenzo Carter, the Georgia product. Man, them dudes were flying all over the field, man. Anthony Rush. If I normally give a game ball. I'm gonna give a game ball right now. I gotta give my game ball to Anthony Rush. He played big boy ball. They did not have a success. They ran the ball on the outside. Okay, that's how they got it. They weren't running the ball up the middle like they typically do. So, like I said, the Falcons defense, they're going to be fine, but we got to understand those moments, some crucial moments in football games, and we gotta cultivate that momentum. When we got it, we gotta hold it. We cannot let it get away.
Hey, I'm about to say, y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up, K-Side?
Hey, man, I've been sitting back here listening to y'all talking, man. And I know probably people see me on screen like, damn, why the hell he ain't said nothing? Really what this game come down to, just like what we always say. How many minutes is there in the football game?
60 minutes. All right, 60 minutes, man.
So
hold on. Let me say this real quick. Look, turn my bro. Like, if y'all expecting AFN, Jew Talk Sports, 6-Man K Styles, if you're expecting us to run away from shit, you got the wrong mother pluckers. Okay, we don't run from anything. Right. We don't run from anything. We take our L's. We're not gonna run. You're gonna see us on wins. You're gonna see us on losses. So if y'all expected us to, to not, no, that's what we do. We stand up over here. So, like I said, man, it is what it is. The Saints played a tremendous game. They made the right moves. I still think I'm gonna be honest. I'm still not impressed with Pete Carmichael. I think he had a pretty poor game plan coming in. I think he tried to be Sean Payton a little bit too much, and he got desperate at the end of the game, and all he did was just go to the hurry up. The protection was horrible. They did not run the ball well. I didn't see Alvin Kamara being involved in the game as much as I thought he should have been. Like I said, I'm not impressed. Dennis Allen is obviously a great defensive coach, but Pete Carmichael, he got a ways to go with that offense and that team.
Look, all I gotta say, all I will say on that is, I mean, I remember they said the Falcons was the worst team in football, right?
Yeah,
didn't look like it today, did it?
But what today's game kind of reminded, like you said, when they came out, this is why I say it's a 60-minute game. You gotta have that same energy for 60 minutes. That's the difference. But I looked at it as like an MMA match. You can hit them legs all day, and you see your opponent stagger, just like you said. But if you trying to Superman punch that dude and you miss,
yeah,
that's exactly what happened. It's just like one of those things where you have to ride the wave to see how it goes. And like you always say, man, 4 or 5 plays, man. Like you said, the Mariota fumble, the Zacchaeus fumble.
Jalen Hawkins dropping the interception early in the game.
The Hawkins interception, that was crucial, but I wouldn't say that was detrimental.
I'd say you got to make the play. If you
still got to make the play.
Yeah, you put your offense on a short field. That was a tough catch, but he was in position. Like when you get in position, it was, to me, it wasn't like a insurmountable catch. It wasn't like he went up with one hand. You went up with 2 hands. You come down with it. That's how I look at it.
Right. But that's gonna be where the difference comes between the leadership as far as in between the lines too, to really sense that momentum. Like I said, Deion Jones was missed very much today defensively, and they still played. They still balled out against the worst team. Like I said, against one of the top 10 teams in the league, struggled against the worst team in football. That we cannot put that past that.
Let me say something real quick, K-Style.
I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing.
I'm seeing this hypocrisy, this bullshit, these asinine comments. Yeah. If you watch this football game for real, if you really sat down and watched this game, it's nowhere in the hell that you could sit here and say that the Falcons look like the worst team in the NFL. Because we whooped their ass. Y'all know what whooping somebody ass in football mean? That means we were more physical. We was busting them in the mouth more than they was busting us. We out physically played this team today. If you was watching this game, we was running them over. We literally were running them over. Okay?
Let me 200 yards rushing. Y'all have not allowed 100-yard rusher in dang near 2 years, and we did it 2 times in one game. So don't tell me that y'all are not impressed. Stop it. You just fooling yourself.
Yeah, but look, and ain't now one of us sit up here and made an excuse. Go ahead.
Hey, look. Like I said, they gave up 200-yard rushing to the worst team in football. Think about that. That's big. Like you said, we just have to bring it for 60 minutes. When you don't play.
And neither one of us, nobody on this panel today has made an excuse for this loss. We've put it all on us. Everybody has put it on us on this panel. Not one of us has made an excuse. But if you watch this game, you saw how this game was going. It was we were physically unmatched for them. There was nothing they could do to stop us from doing what we wanted to do. It all came down to us taking our foot off the gas, going away from what we were seeing was working, and getting conservative too early. On the defensive side of the ball, we got too conservative. We got too conservative on both sides of the ball. But nobody on here has made an excuse for this loss. Yeah, y'all still won. Okay. But if you was watching this game as a Saints fan, ain't nowhere in the world you can't tell me you was doing this. So looking.
Please. Them boys was quiet. Mother was quiet.
If you was watching this game, your ass was sweating beads because you was getting your ass whooped, and you know it. So you can sit here and be tough in your little texts and in your little comments. You can act real tough down there. But your team know. They in that locker room and they in there, they know they got some bumps and some bruises today because the Falcons were whooping their ass. They wiping the sweat off their heads. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, we got to see y'all again. Don't forget that. You got to get this ass whooping again, and this time we gonna close it out because this coaching style, they gonna learn from these mistakes today.
Yeah.
So count your days. Count your days, Saints fans. Count your days. Y'all ain't in the swamp today. Y'all gonna be in the swamp next time.
This is a second-year head coach. He's gonna make mistakes, and like I said, he's learning his personnel. Like I said, most of these guys are, we got a couple of guys in their second year with him, but most of these guys are on the offensive side of the ball. They in their first year with him. Outside of CP, that's what we were talking about. Like, him having to get familiar with those guys. He knows what plays to call to get the ball to a Michael Thomas. He knows how to get Alvin Kamara and that offense going. He knows that. This is his second year with Jameis Winston. So he understands that already. So at the end of the day, like I said before, Saints played a wonderful game. They played a wonderful game. They closed things out when need be. That's what good teams are supposed to do. You're supposed to close out when you need to. They didn't start out the greatest. The Falcons didn't start out the greatest. But it's all about ending, how you finish. It's all about how you finish. It's like I said,
can you withstand the storm?
That's it.
That's all it comes down to.
Because it was a thunderstorm, wasn't it? It was a storm. They had got hit They got hit by a thunderstorm today, and they weathered it. Hats off to them.
Yeah. But the thing about it is they sent a message. Let's believe that. They sent the Falcons to sent them a message. And that was a message that they weren't ready for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm trying to get this. We got a super chat. I'm trying to hold on. I lost it. I lost the super chat. It's somewhere. But like I said, I'm like, if there were one thing offensively that you guys can say for both teams, offensively, defensively, that you are impressed with, what would those things be?
Okay, so I guess I'll start it off, Mike, because I had to get ready to get off, jump off here. But I'll say for the Falcons, it was mainly the offensive line in the running game, because we talked about it during the preseason. I kind of talked about it with you guys offline. It's like I didn't know, based off of the competition that we played, even though we played against NFL teams, we had the Lions, the Jets, the Jaguars. I'm like, okay, these teams are not probably going to be playoff teams. So I wanted to see how the Falcons would stack up against top competition. And I do consider the Aints top competition, as far as we know they always have a stout front seven. And to see the way that we had our way with them, and that's why I say I don't worry about the trollers that are in the chat. They got, the people that's trolling. As Blackberry said, and like I said, they know they dodged the bullet. CP was having his way, and he was yelling and screaming and talking junk in their face while he was doing it. It wasn't like he was just quietly. When you said it was a thunderstorm, he was letting all of them know. DeMario Davis, whoever wanted some, he said, I'm coming through here 100 miles an hour. Who want to try to tackle me? Yeah. None of them was trying to see that man. And the Honey Badger, I consider him a dog, but CP was the top dog today. He let all of them boys know, like, I run this. I'm coming through here. Who wants some of this? They were making big. Look, Jonathan Vilma was calling the game. He's a former Saint. He was saying on the telecast, like, they ain't trying to see CP. I see a lot of business decisions out there. He said that. They ain't trying to see CP. CP all about his business. He coming downhill 100 miles an hour, and he said, I see these guys making business decisions. So I say that running game is what I'm excited about, because we know good teams, the running game and defense travels. In the playoffs, when it get cold outside, we know two things are going to hold up in football: running the ball and playing good defense. Mm-hmm. And today, that's what I saw. I saw solid defense. The defensive line, I believe, had 4 or 5 sacks, which I ain't seen in we don't know how many years. I mean, I was impressed with that one drive.
The most
sacks. You had
the most sacks since 2000. Most sacks in the game since 2020.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what impressed me about the offense and the defense is the trenches. You guys know I always say the game is won and lost in the trenches. When we had control of that game, we were controlling the tempo. We were controlling the trenches. When we lost the trenches, it stopped blitzing. That's when the Saints took back and the pendulum swung back the other way. For the Saints, I'll say in this game, what I'll give them the benefit of is that they kept trying different things, is what Mike was talking about. Mm-hmm. They seen that nothing was working. So what did? They made adjustments. They seen like, dang, we can't run the ball. Alvin Kamara can't do nothing. Okay, they tried Taysom Hill, and to me, they went away from what was working, because Taysom Hill actually was doing his thing. You heard Jonathan Vilma, and I talk about it all the time. If you don't understand the game of football, listen to the people on the telecast, especially if it's a former player. Jonathan Vilma was saying, if I'm Pete Carmichael, I'm going back to that Taysom Hill. You pick up 3 or 4 yards here and there. Don't try to throw the ball, because the Falcons are getting after it in the trenches. They're not giving Jameis Winston no time to throw the ball. Jameis Winston is inaccurate. His timing is off. So the biggest thing that I'll give the Saints credit for, and we always talk about coaching is very important, is they kept trying different things. And then once they figured out, okay, let's go up tempo. Once they seen that, that was kind of working, They stuck with it. We seen once they went no huddle. I think those last 2 drives, they didn't go away from that. They didn't deviate. See them level up at all. They did not deviate. Once they figured out, okay, this is working, we're gonna stick with it. We're not going back to Taysom Hill. We're not going back to Alvin Kamara. And that's why Mike's saying they went away from Alvin Kamara. Well, they seeing it wasn't working. So a smart coach will go away from your game plan if it's not working. So I'll say the biggest thing I've seen for the Saints is they made the proper adjustments. Now their defense, I'm worried about their defense. I think them trading away C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and I talked about this on the Heavy Hitter show, is a huge blow to that defense because we had our way with their defense. Like I didn't see nothing positive to me out of that defense. They weren't getting pressure consistently. They won't stop in our wide receivers because I seen Cordell Hodge getting open. I seen Zacchaeus getting open. Like you said, if anything, Mariota just wasn't letting the ball go. He was taking off, pulling the ball down and taking off. But the prime example, and this will be the last thing that I'll say, the Saints play the Buccaneers next week. I just looked at the schedule. They're going to see what Mike was talking about great quarterbacks don't make crucial mistakes. Trust me, Tom Brady, once he find your weakness, it's going to be death by 1,000 paper cuts. Once he find that corner that can't cover and hold this guy, he going to keep hitting that soft spot. He going to keep hitting it. And now y'all going to see what Mike was talking about by great quarterbacks, they don't make crucial mistakes. Once they find that weakness, they don't deviate and go away from it. And that's all I'll say. So with the Saints, to me, they got a lot of work to do when it comes to the defense because I don't see anything that they can hang their hat on. What did they do well on defense today? They didn't sack us. They really weren't stopping us. I mean, we've seen a couple
200 yards rushing. We had 200 yards rushing. They didn't do anything right.
So they didn't do nothing good on. Like I didn't see nothing on defense where I could say, okay, they can hang their hat on this. I really didn't see them do much. You can maybe say, okay, they took the ball away. We'll give them credit for that because they did punch the ball out on OZ. So they took advantage of I guess, turning the ball over. I guess that we can say they did that well. But far as like stopping us, I really feel like we shot ourselves in the foot. I really didn't see them stop our running game. They didn't stop our passing game. We did whatever we wanted to. To be honest, we just went away from what was working. So I really put this game on coaching. I really can't even put this on the players. And that'll be the last thing that I'll say. But I'm really impressed with this team because you guys know on my channel what I always say, the trenches. That's what I'm most concerned about. And in this game, I feel like the trenches on both sides, the offensive line and defensive line, dominated. And I'm really impressed with that.
All right, Black, what you got?
Well, Millie Mills asked a question on that. I'm gonna answer that real quick. Okay. I know we're gonna dive into a lot of position things later on in the week, but he asked so how do we fix the coverage issue to close out games? Do we put more DBs on the field or what? Well, Millie Mills, a lot of what coaches are gonna do first they're gonna, after they watch film, they're gonna look and see. They're going to look at the positions, the players that was on the field in these situations, and they're going to coach them up on things that they could have did better in those situations. We got a young edge guy in AK, Ebiketie. I think this is going to be a learning experience for him in those situations where now the defensive calls are more conservative and you don't have a pass, you don't have a blitz coming or something like that, and you know that the offense that you're going against have to pass the ball now because they have to get back into the game. AK is going to have to realize that means the ball's going to come out faster. That means there's not going to be deep dropbacks by the quarterback now. And Jameis wasn't doing deep dropbacks. He was trying to get that ball out fast. Trying to get around the tackle is all good early in the game and in the mid part of the game when the game is still close. But when these guys have to throw the ball, get the ball out fast, you're going to have to do a lot of more inside moves to get yourself inside to get pressure. Always trying to go around the outside of that tackle. You might, you sometimes it works when the quarterback has to throw the ball, but because those dropbacks are not as far back now, they're doing 4-stop drops. They're doing 3-stop drops. At the most five step dropbacks. you're gonna have to do more inside moves to get that pressure. So I think that's something for a young edge guy who we know got the talent. We know he got the ability. He was doing his thing all game.
Mm-hmm.
That situational ball, something that LT was talking about earlier, where these coaches gonna come in and they gonna help these guys understand those situations better and how to attack their assignments better. But something I was real happy to see. I just like everybody else done said, is the offensive line being able to hold up for the entirety of the game. This offensive line did a phenomenal job today. They were run blocking, they were pass blocking, they was doing a good job communicating with each other when Mariota would have to go into a pre-snap audible, or he went into a pre-snap read where he adjusted the protection. They did a wonderful job understanding their assignments and executing those assignments today. We had some penalties in some situations, but like I said, that's stuff that can be coached up because it wasn't an issue all game. It was an issue in situations. So that's something that'll be coached up. And defensively, I really love what I saw out of Michael Walker. Okay. Michael Walker was doing the damn thing today, y'all. His assignment today was Alvin Kamara. He took him out the game. I don't think it's necessary.
Blackberry, before you go on, talk about that play. Talk about that play on that screenplay. Talk about it, man. I seen that. I was like, that's why I had him as my X factor. Talk about that play. That could have been a huge play.
It was him by himself, Juke. It was him by himself. It was him by himself out there with Alvin Kamara and about 3 offensive linemen. And he had to understand, I cannot allow for somebody to get in front of me on this play, because Alvin Kamara, if he get this ball, it was nothing but open field. It was nothing but open field for him to be able to get loose. Michael Walker shut it down. He shut it down. So, defensively, like I said, man, I don't have a whole lot of wrong with what went on in this game with the game plan. It was all about situational moments where we need to just make smarter decisions on how we gonna attack the football. And so that's what it is for me. That I was happy with the linebacker play. I was happy with the offensive line. We got a lot to build on. We would have better team here. We just let it slip through our fingers.
Well, we're going to end it right now. So I thank everybody for joining us, man. This has been another successful season opener for us. I think we did a good job, man. No matter what, whether it's win, losses, we're going to be here. And at the end of the day, man, there's going to be positive, there's going to be negative. But as a fan base, I think today we showed up at that dome. They was rocking all day long on third down. And like I said, that played a tremendous impact on the defense. Like I said, at the end of the day, man, these guys still are young, so we're going to have to be patient. I know a lot of people ain't trying to hear that, but who the hell cares? Be patient. Go to another team. Be patient or go to another team. We young. Defensively, like I said before, not really surprised about anything. Like I said, I expect this year to be up and down. But if there's one thing that I'm proud of with this team is how they pretty much shut down a Saints offense. And Saint fans, y'all can say whatever y'all want to, but they shut you down. Not only that, they ran through your defense. 200 yards rushing. That's something that y'all been, y'all love stats, y'all love numbers. And y'all said no team has run over 200. Well, y'all got ran through like Suki Hunter. All right, that's what y'all did. Y'all got ran through. All right. So, with that being said, offensively, got a ways to go. A bunch of young guys. But like I said, man, I'm disappointed we didn't get the win, but I'm not disappointed on how they building this team. 0 sacks. I don't think
Zero
people understand that. 0 sacks. That's something that we've been praying for the last
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know how many years, bro. They gave
Hey.
us 0 sacks to the Saints. To the Saints. You hear me? So
Yeah,
if
man.
that's all, man. If that's all, you guys ain't got anything else to say, we're gonna end it, man, and kind of watch the rest of these games. Hey, man, it's football Sunday. All right, we still got 4 o'clock game and it's the 8 o'clock game tonight. Hey, man, I'm about to go eat. I'm about to go lay down and watch me some ball. So I appreciate you guys for joining us. If you guys have not already, you can check out the link in the description for Manscaped, 20% off using the AFN code. Hey, man, get your beard game going and all that type of stuff. Get shaved, get some, just get some stuff over there at Manscaped. So with that being said, man, I'm out of here, man. I'm tired. I've been up all freaking morning. I did not sleep at all. But I'm about to hit the sack. All right, so I'm gone, man. Peace.